Hello everybody and welcome to the Snapthis channel. Today we're going to be talking about everything exciting that Snapchat released yesterday at the Partnership Summit. 20th of May 2021 was the online event where we get to see what Snapchat's doing with its partners in terms of AR, shows, creators, and there's loads of good stuff that us as Snapchat users can get excited about. So let's get into it and have a look at what the Snapchat Partnership Summit brought to us. So let's have a look at the Snapchat Partnership Summit in detail with all the bits that they're adding to the application over the next year. Now, first thing we need to talk about is the Snapchat camera itself, the original whole idea of Snapchat and what Snapchat want to do to this camera. Nothing that you'll probably see in major changes, but they want to make the camera more inclusive, which means it will work better on skin tones in any type of light. Low light, bright light, they just want to make that everyone feel like what you see through your eyes is exactly what the Snapchat camera is going to capture. And it was all about being more inclusive in the Snapchat application. Now, the Partnership Summit is about Snapchat and its partners, and who have they partnered with this year? They've got themselves a big one, and that is Disney. And to see what they're going to be doing with Disney was really exciting. But how does a social media application and Disney sort of intertwine and partnership together? Well, with Snapchat's AR background, now they are designing Snapchat lenses that will work specifically at Disney World, so you can have a selfie with your favorite character near your shoulder. And they showed off Minnie and Mickey on people's shoulders around certain parts of the park. The other part of the Disney partnership is how you can store memories on Cinderella's castle while you're there and view them in augmented reality. Now, these features, of course, are intertwining with the Disney app, and that's sort of the partnership between the two companies, Snapchat and the Disney, getting their apps to talk to each other so you can get that magical experience when you go to Disney World. It's really exciting to see a company like Disney work with Snapchat, and I expect to see bigger companies as well come in and develop some AR experiences to go along, because you never know, when you're in your queues waiting for your rides, you can use Snapchat to keep yourself entertained. The next part of the summit was talking about the Snapchat games, and if you're not familiar with the Partnership Summits, 2019's was where the Snapchat games first got introduced, so it's exciting to see that they keep bringing this up every year with new exciting developments. Now, one of the games, Aquapark, was announced at the summit that it's been very popular with friends and group chats, and how the developer have now seen the success of Snapchat and want to develop 5 more games. They've announced 5 more games for Snapchat, which is really exciting because the development of the app is really high quality. However, I didn't think it was one of the bigger games that everybody played, so that took me by surprise. I'm more a single player puzzler like Hex and Find Bitmoji. But of course, with the multiplayer games, it's good that you can play with your friends, and having 5 more, and that's just from that one developer. So we can see that Snapchat Games has really got a backing behind it and almost a roster bigger than, let's say, Xbox or PlayStation with how many games they've got now, because there is a game for everybody. Keeping it inside the rocket, they did talk about the last year's release, Minis. So Snapchat Minis are almost micro applications built into Snapchat. Now, it does depend on your country with how many minis you get. In the UK, I think we have about 7 at the moment, so there's enough in there to keep you entertained. From obviously learning with post-it notes, and even their new one that they've just released that sort of teaches you how to do the stock market without needing to put any money into it. So it's a life investment learning app, which I think is really cool. I'm not into my investments, but this app might change the way I think about it. Now, minis obviously are being pushed out even more, and Ticketmaster are going to start developing it into these snap maps, so you can go onto a mini and find the nearest location with something that you could watch, so a concert or a musical, something like that. You'll be able to go onto the mini and find tickets and buy them through Snapchat without even needing to leave the application, which moves nicely into SnapMap as well. They're integrating that Ticketmaster feature as well, so you can go onto SnapMap and use something they called layers and see different parts of the Snap Map. So there'll be a layer for Ticketmaster, so you can see, events that you can go to and buy tickets to. There's also this awesome memory part that you can go into and see all your memories on the Snap Map. Now, that's really useful because I've done that on the iOS version on, the Photos app, and that's good to find a specific photo. Memories on Snapchat isn't hard to find a specific memory, but it's not quick. So I think with SnapMap integrating a memory section, that's going to be really easy now to go, oh, I did a photo here, go onto the SnapMap, zoom in and find that memory. So I think that's a good additional feature. Some other features that you will be able to see on the Snap Map, they did this thing in LA, testing this virtual art essentially. So you could go around LA and find little pieces of artwork that would give you an AR experience. AR, if you're new to this, is augmented reality. It's where you use your smartphone to experience something, whether that be, a shark flying around your head or just some 3D art that's crazy. Snapchat Spectacles 3 and the lenses are more around the AR, but it was cool to see that they were testing a modern way of turning LA into a big canvas that you could go and experience. Which, if you think about it, if you're sitting with your friends at the park and there's this AR lens, it's going to make your day a little bit more exciting, and you'd be able to video yourself and have your friends walking around the piece of art and sharing an interesting thing to your story. There's also now development for apps to sort of post to specific areas of the Snap Map. So there'll be stories that you can click onto, just like the locations at the moment. And I hope they develop more on that as well and allow to have created stories similar to that, so users can input as well, because I'm not too sure how much user input we're going to have on those stories. So those features will be rolled into the application very soon. Snapchat didn't mention when the new games or the new map integration was going to happen, so keep your eyes peeled for those. Just like in normal Snapchat fashion, it will just appear when it's ready. But I was definitely hyped for some more map content. I did say before the stream I'd like to see a better Snap Map. The reason why is because it's down the bottom as one of the important buttons, so I feel like they need to give it a reason for people to use it, and I think this is perfect now. We've got the businesses, we're going to be able to buy tickets and see our memories, so win-win there. Moving on, these next couple of features you are more likely to notice as a Snapchat user because they are going to make your experience more streamlined, shall we say. I want to talk about pinning first. So we're not talking about the pinning in chat, that's staying around and that's a brilliant feature. But what are they pinning now? Well, when you pull down on the Snapchat camera, you'll have the option to pin minis and games. Now, if you play a lot of the games, you'll know that you have to go into somebody's chat to boot these up. And having this just as a pull down menu, select the game, straight in, I'm excited for that. So it'll be interesting to see how it works when playing multiplayer, or are we going to be able to boot the games now in a single player mode and just play online with some randoms on Snapchat. So, but having the pinning feature for specific minis and specific games is going to promote more users to use them. The next thing you'll notice down the bottom, they're changing the central icon from a camera to the new scanned feature. Now, scan's been in quite a while, but you have to specifically select it for it to do its thing. Now, scan just looks at what the camera's seeing and uses machine learning to sort of give you the best lens or the best effect to use in your Snapchat. So try scanning a computer and you'll get loads of like technology-based lenses, which I think is really cool, but obviously it's a feature that's sort of hidden away. Snapchat want to push that more because they're developing their app to be better for the user. So, content creators can find better lenses, better effects for their videos without needing to go looking for them, and that's what I like about Scan. It also works on dogs and cars. You can scan specific things and it'll tell you what dog breed, plant, or what car it is, and it works quite well actually for machine learning, so give that a go if you haven't already. But you'll notice the icon down the bottom will change and it's more prompting to use the scan feature. Also inside the scan feature, there's something called Camera Recommends, and this is a new mode. When you scan using the camera, you'll be able to see what the camera's recommended in terms of modes, sky filters, lenses, or even soundtracks to push you as creators to add a little bit more of an effect to your storytelling on Snapchat. So they use an example of a sunset, pushing and holding on that would have recommended sky filters, songs, something to set the mood for what you're doing on Snapchat. I'm looking forward to this feature because I feel like it might give me a push to make more content using lenses than just the bog standard talking to the camera. So have a look out for that when that starts getting pushed out. This next bit is very exciting. As a creator, I was super excited to hear that Snapchat have made a separate app for video editing. So what this is going to allow you to do is make some awesome spotlights or portrait videos that you can share to your Snapchat. And it's called Story Studio and it's coming to iOS very soon. And I think this is the right step in the direction to have a proper editor on the side to allow you to make Snapchat content. So it's not built in, but of course, I guess Snapchat are thinking about the app size and how they can make it better for creators. This app is obviously going to be more optimized for effects, and you're going to see lenses coming into it. So keep your eyes peeled for Story Studio and check the link in the description to the pages that I've found that you might find useful. Well, that is definitely the most exciting news and probably the bit I'm going to remember from the summit of 2021. Also, Snapchat creators will also be able to now upload content onto their spotlights using web browsers like Google Chrome. You'll be able to upload your content if you're more a creator who uses Final Cut, Premiere Pro, or any other editor to do your portrait content. The last feature that creators are going to be able to utilize later on this year is gifting. So now you can gift your favorite creators on Snapchat just by replying to their story and adding a little gift. Of course, this costs money, but you can support your favorite creators through a Snapchat digital currency, and you can obviously choose the amount of whatever. You can then send it across, and that creator will be able to accumulate all those gifts and turn it back to revenue that they can put back into the content. So it's a good way of engaging with your audience. Other websites and other platforms like YouTube and Twitch have been doing this for a while, so it's exciting now to see that Snapchat are taking the leap and supporting their content creators as well by allowing the fans to add a gift to their messages to make them more meaningful and engagement for the creators. And I think it's really good because for a very long time it's really hard to make any money as a Snapchat creator, so now they're allowing the users to sort of not obviously make it mandatory, but if you want to support your favorite creators, users can do that now. So that's going to be very good, and that's coming out later on this year. They did mention that it is going to be probably the second part of 2021, so it's going to be exciting to see that. So creators, keep your eyes peeled for some gifts in your reply message box. Other news, Lens Studio 4.0 has now been released, so if you're a lens creator, there's some super exciting features on there. There's not going to be enough time in this video to discuss everything. There's this new connected AR development, so you can have two people using a lens at once. They demoed a Lego car being built, which is absolutely awesome, and it looks so cool to have almost multiplayer AR. There's going to be loads of new features to do with sounds, so Lens Studio now can use machine learning to hear things and create sounds, which one of my friends, Jericho, is super excited about because he makes some very visual lenses. So that's going to be really cool. So lens creators, make sure you have updated your Lens Studio to 4.0 to make use of those features. And finally, the bombshell. I called this the Evan bombshell. I was not expecting this. Now, if you know me quite well, you'll know I'm a massive fan of the Snapchat spectacles. Big fan of the 2s because that is like my go-to camera for adventures. But obviously the 3s are out, which is an AR experience. But how can Snapchat make the next step? Obviously, you can't really merge the 2 and the 3 together to become the ultimate product, because it just probably wouldn't work in the way that Snapchat would want it to. So what have they done to make the leap? And it was an Evan bombshell, and I was not expecting this, but it's AR glasses. Snapchat, I guess, spectacles 4. I would call it Snapchat AR if I was in charge of marketing. But what it is, it's a pair of sunglasses that not only can you make videos using the cameras, but you'll be able to play with lenses in front of your own eyes. I was talking to some of the guys after in the event, and they were saying, you know, it's going to be cool to see really the first adaptation of AR in your own eyes. So not VR, but it's AR through your own eyes. So it's going to be super exciting. They've not released much information about the glasses. They've told us how they work and what they're going to do. No price, no like when they're going to be ready. So it's going to be super exciting. I don't know whether I'm going to be a big fan of them as much as the 2s, because obviously I'm a videographer by background. It's all about the shot and the camera, and this is more about augmented reality. So lens creators and 3D art modelists, or anyone that does anything with AR or modeling, is going to absolutely love these, or machine learning. There's so much that these glasses are going to bring to futuristic tech and how we view things through our own eyes. But not a lot of news yet. I'm excited to see when they have a release date or how much they're going to sell for. I assume it's going to be £600, $600 around mark there, as the Spectacles 3 were $300, and they were quite high tech, but they didn't have any screens built in. So if Snapchat can get it lower than that, I'll be very impressed. But yeah, super excited to see what the spectacles, the new spectacles as they're calling them, will bring to the game, because they are a completely different product, which is what I like about spectacles. They didn't eliminate the 2s when they made the 3s. They just sort of made it as a separate, and I assume this is going to be the next one along. So this is going to be cool to see what the spectacles community and AR developers are going to bring to that. So yes, thank you, Evan, for that last minute bombshell. I was like on the edge of my seat when he mentioned spectacles, because I didn't know where they were going to take it, because obviously they're really good. There's not a lot they can bring to it apart from better quality. So where did they go? And they've now made it so you can see lenses through your own eyes without using the Snapchat application. So that is absolutely awesome. So that's basically a roundup of everything that happened at the summit. I hope you've enjoyed this little video that I've made to round it all up. Super excited for some of the new features. I've mentioned what I'm passionate for. Obviously more the video side, which is obviously spectacles, I guess 4.0, I don't know what they're going to call them, but they'll be cool to see if I can get my hands on them. Story Studio, which is going to be Ace, a separate video editor, and obviously all the other features as well that they've put in, like the minis, the games, the integration with Disney, and allowing you to have selfies with Mickey Mouse. So that's everything I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're new around here, my name's Carl Lightning. I run the Snapthis channel. You can, of course, subscribe, and if you've enjoyed today's video, then leave us a like and let us know in the comment section below. Was there something you thought that they could have had, or something you wanted to see, or what did you think of some of the features? Because this is where I get to know the Snapchat community, and I know you're all out there enjoying Snapchat, so let us know in the comment section below what you think and what you think they should bring. Obviously, this was the partnership event, which means it's all about the partners and not Snapchat themselves, so core features that they'd be able to develop in-house, that's left for the updates really. So this was just about who they've been working with and what they're going to bring. It's a massive celebration, let's just put it that way. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video.